we're back. I slept until, so we got back at like, well, I think we got back at 11:30. Back at 11:30. So on the way back we flew with Vueling, which was miles better than easyJet. easyJet sucks. Hated it. Horrible experience. They didn't lose my suitcase, which is what all the stuff on the website says. Oh, if your suitcase is, they took my suitcase and they didn't put it on the plane. They didn't put my suitcase on the plane. So I got to Rome, and my suitcase never came. So I literally had no clothes, no underwear, no pads, no toothbrush, nothing. Because I thought, oh, you know, it'll be fine. I'll put everything in the suitcase and it can go underneath, because surely that's safer. And you know, I don't need anything on the plane, so I'll just take like a book, etc. on the thing, and that'll be it. Yeah, no. My suitcase stayed in Gatwick, and I went to Rome and didn't have anything, and they didn't say anything at all. I had literally nothing. So we got there, we were waiting for ages, and I was like, fuck. I was like, I don't see my suitcase anywhere, I don't see it. And I was like, nah. I was like, maybe it's just at the end, you know? Or maybe it was right at the beginning and we missed it, so we just have to wait for all the suitcases to go around again, and it'll turn out. Well, we did that, we waited there for like half an hour and the suitcase didn't come. So we went to Lost and Found, we did all the Lost and Found stuff, so the Lost and Found guys at Rome are like carrying easyJet, because easyJet did not contact me at all through the entire thing. We filled out all the forms and stuff, and she was like, oh, anything you buy, like, you know, keep all the receipts and I'll like pay you back and stuff. So that's what I have to do today, is fill out another form, because I sent an email with everything and no one's replied to me. I've actually sent 2 emails, because before we even got on the plane, so to get to the plane you have to get on a bus. Fair enough, that sounds simple, yeah, you know. We don't really care. We got on the bus, we waited, we stood, we got to the plane, we stopped outside the plane in the bus, and the driver just gets off and leaves us. Again, me and Jacob, fine, you know, don't really care. You do you. The cat's playing in the corner. You do you, you know. You're in charge. I'm going to assume that whatever you're doing is what we need to do. So we waited. However, someone on the bus fainted. Because a bunch of people started to yell and try and get the driver's attention, because she was, like, this lady had, like, fainted or was going to faint. And he just looked and ignored everyone. So first of all, one person said it. Knocked the window, said, oh, can you open the windows please? Or can we have the AC on? And he just ignored it. So then another person said it, and then obviously I guess the lady like dropped or something or went to faint. Because we're all packed in like sardines, so like I can't actually, like, I didn't see who it was until the end. Yeah, and then obviously because she's about to faint or fainted, don't really know, everyone starts to panic for her, because they're like, well, fuck, like you don't know, like, you don't know this lady, you don't know what health condition she has. Her fainting could be like, it could be a multitude of things that could be really serious. Like, she could be having a heart attack, like, you know, you don't know. And this guy just ignores everyone. So like, we're here going, hello, like, at that point everyone's getting like really like annoyed, because he's looking at the bus and ignoring the knocking on the windows. So are 2 other people who were stood next to the bus, and it's like very obvious that people are knocking to like get his attention because something's wrong. It's not like everyone's banging on the windows going, let us out, we want to get the plane. Like, people look concerned and they look worried. and they are shouting. You've got like grown men whose like voices tend to carry outside of like cars and stuff, shouting, "We have a medical emergency," and he just like ignores it, and he just looks and he's like, and then I think at some point like so the bus driver's section has like a window bit or like a plastic thing that divides it, and his like window thing is open, so he walks towards like the front of the bus, and at that point you've got 3 grown men going, "We have a medical emergency, someone has fainted, open the doors." Completely ignores it. I don't know if he said that or someone else said it, because there were so many people shouting at that point, because this woman was like in distress. It was really hot, no airflow, packed in, and she's like fainting, or like on the brink of fainting, like, you know, like, and that, even if you're not fainting, like that's horrible. To be consistently on the brink of fainting makes you feel so ill, and you don't even get that like split relief of like when you like go unconscious, where like you don't really feel it, because it's happened to me before. So if she's consistently on the brink of fainting, nearly fainting, and this guy's doing nothing, you've then got like 3 different men shouting through the plastic to the driver bit, so now he can definitely hear us because he's looking at them and listening. And we've got people saying, "We have a woman who has fainted, we have a medical emergency," and he does nothing. And then finally he opens the doors, and he says, and then someone is like, "We've been shouting for you, we have a medical emergency." He's like, "I can't open the doors, I'm not allowed to let you out." And so they said again, "We have a medical emergency, we've been asking you to help because we have a medical emergency." And he's like, "Oh, how am I supposed to know that?" People were knocking on the windows. At one point I typed on my phone and was waving at the people because I didn't want to knock on the windows, because clearly that wasn't working. So I tried a different route whilst they were still doing it. I like waved at the people to sit on the side, pointed to my phone where I had it typed out, "Medical emergency, someone has fainted," and they just didn't fucking care. They didn't care at all. They just stood there. And then obviously he can open the doors because he did it at the end, and he did it before we boarded the plane, and he could have done that to begin with, or at the very least like paid attention to the bus, because he just walked off. But anyway, so he opens the doors and someone said, "We have a medical emergency, someone has fainted." And he said, "Well, I didn't know that." "Well, we've been trying to tell you that." At that point, what he should have been doing was asking who it was, finding where they are on the bus and getting them off. No, he just stood there and he started to argue, say, "Oh, well, I don't know that, I can't open the bus, blah, 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 blah." Arguing with someone who isn't to do with that. The person who was fainting only got off the bus because everyone on the bus moved out the way and got her off, as did her partner. Her partner guided her, and then the people around her like moved so that like she could, like, if people didn't know that she had fainted and he opened, and like it was one of those buses where, you know, when you get on and like everyone panics and they just shove and everyone wants to get off first, they push. She could have been crushed if she fainted on the floor and no one knew. She could have been crushed. Like, it's so disrespectful to her, and so like disregarding of like her health, that he just did not care. He did not make any effort to go find her. He didn't ask who it was. He didn't ask what was happening. He didn't ask, "Is she on the floor? Is she conscious?" He just went, "Oh, I didn't know. Doors are open." Just opened the doors and went, "Oh, well, I didn't know that. We've been trying to tell you and you just ignored us, and we've been trying to tell everyone around us and they've just ignored us." Like, so obviously they get off the bus and he's like, the partner's speaking to the man. The entire time the partner's saying, "She is fainting and you didn't help," this guy's just yelling and just like arguing back with him. Meanwhile, this woman's stood on the side. No one's checked if she's okay. No one's gone to get like any medical help. She's just stood there. They're just like looking. No one's asked, oh, how do you feel? Do you feel faint? Do you have any medical issues? They just, the bus driver's arguing with the partner now, saying, oh, well, I didn't know. You know, he's just arguing with the partner. And then another man got off and said, can I have your name, please? And he's like, why? And then starts getting really, like, agitated in this man's face, saying, oh, why do you want my name? Why do you want my name? And he said, because I want to make a complaint, because we had a medical emergency on the bus and you ignored it, and then you haven't helped at all, and you still continue to ignore it. You haven't helped her. She stood on the side of, like, she stood on the tarmac with her partner. No one's gone up to her to make sure she's okay, apart from her partner, because we can't get off the bus, because, like, you know, you've told us we can't get off the bus. We can't help her. And also, like, assuming that, like, no one's trained to help her. There should be someone who is, like, first aid trained in an airport to be like, oh, you know, do you have any medical issues? Like, that's someone's job there, and they haven't been told that they need, like, there's someone who needs them, or they're stood on the side and they just decided not to. But yeah, so this lady's just like, I hope she's okay. I'm assuming she is. She got on the plane, but like no one checked on her. No one cared that she had just nearly fainted on a bus. Yeah. So that was our first experience, is the fact that the driver then ignored a medical emergency, then started yelling at the people who had the medical emergency, who are like not happy because you didn't help them. Then he got in the face of another person who wanted to make a complaint, saying, why do you need my man? Like, getting in his face. Like, he's now approached a customer and is getting in their face, getting aggressive with him, saying, oh, why do you want my name? Well, it's obviously because you didn't help this woman who had fainted on a bus. Like, sorry, but, like, so we had that. Then we got to the airport and they'd taken my suitcase and they didn't give it back to me because they just left it in Gatwick. Yay! So we did that, filed the report. I waited 24 hours, so I spent the first day of Rome constantly checking my emails because I needed to know when it would turn up. It turns up. easyJet didn't tell me that they found it. I only knew that I found it because the Italian lost and found department emailed me and said, oh, it's at the airport ready for collection. We then spent 8 hours in travel time getting back to the airport and then back to the Airbnb to get this suitcase that we were told was going to be sent to us, which they sent me the email at like 12ish. At like 5, when we were already there getting the suitcase, I get an email from easyJet going, we found your suitcase, we're going to deliver it to you. No, you're not, because they've already told you found it ages ago. You found it ages ago. It had already arrived at 12 o'clock in the airport. They've already told me that it's here. I'm now on my way because you haven't said anything. They hadn't updated any of like the online stuff, so we've been checking like the file where you can like see the progress of if they found it or not. There's nothing on there, so we're following the Italian lost and found. So we had to go, because obviously they're not going to pay for it because they didn't lose it. They're the ones who were trying to get it back to us. So we had to travel all the way back, and the trains were cancelled because there was a fire, so we had to get a bus, and the queues for the bus were insane. So it took 8 hours, so a whole day of our trip, to go back to get the suitcase that they had not put on the plane because they didn't scan it. So we checked it in all fine, but they hadn't scanned the suitcase. So because they didn't scan the suitcase, it didn't get on. So obviously no one checked that all the bags were had been scanned properly. And someone said in the airport that 2 planes apparently were leaving at the same time, and that might have been the issue. Why? Isn't there like a bunch of planes that leave at the same time? I don't understand how that's an issue, but okay. So that was my experience of easyJet, and it ruined, because we were only there for 4 days, so like that's the whole day gone. So it's a quarter of our trip ruined because, well, half really, because the first day we were only there for a little bit. So half our trip ruined because easyJet decided that they weren't going to give me my suitcase back. And I mean, luckily nothing like expensive or like valuable is gone, but I know that someone's been in it because there's something missing from it that isn't worth a lot of money. Like, it's just a scrunchie, but I know someone's been in the suitcase because it's not there and it's not in my house. So I don't know who went in my suitcase, but it wasn't a customer or like anyone in the airport because it never went past anyone because it didn't get put on the plane. So that's great. So luckily it's only a scrunchie from TK Maxx that went missing and nothing else, but it's still a bit weird. So definitely never gonna travel with easyJet ever again. But we travelled with Vueling, so Vueling on the way back was way better. Yeah, didn't lose my suitcases, checked it in all fine and got everything back. But yeah, so this is, so I got some stuff. So I originally got some other stuff first, which I shared on TikTok, and then I got more stuff. So this is what I got. So we got some like really cool, like, where are they? So we got this from it's just like a rug, but it's like made with recycled materials and it's like textured and stuff. So that's cool. A rug, that rug. Yeah, we got that at the market, and oh, so we got that. So we got a rug. We got that at the market, which was so nice. I got this hairbrush because I had to replace my other one. But luckily, actually, this is really useful because it fits in a bag and it's like a nice colour, so not too mad about that. We then went to a shop called Adelaide, which I think is named after the lady who made it. And I got this, which is actually for bread, so it's supposed to be for bread when you like take it to the table and stuff, but I thought it would be really cool to put like makeup and stuff in it. I got this, which is like a handmade kind of like coffee table thing, placemat, which I thought would look nice on tables and it would match like wherever. Oh. I don't know how people flick the fans to open them. I'm not very good at it. There was a little girl who did it and she did it like so sassily, like she like there was power in the way that she flicked her fan when we were at the Coliseum. I think I opened it the wrong way. I got this fan because it was really hot, but also it just looks cute and I thought it would be nice to like put it on the wall or something. So yeah, I got that. I got like a bunch of like these little fridge magnets. So we've got like a passata one. We've got aqua panna, which is like a San Pellegrino kind of sparkling water one. A limoncello. I got the lemon. So we never tried the limoncello because we don't drink. And we went to this pasta place and they made one. They were like, "Oh, here's this thing for you to try." And we're like, "Is it?" I was like, "We can't drink it. I'm sorry. We just we don't drink alcohol at the moment." I got this one, but actually, before we went, I was googling some non-alcoholic limoncellos because I thought it would be nice to have some at the wedding. I got this one. This is cute. But yeah. So I did. I have been looking at some like cute. I've been looking at some non-alcoholic limoncello, so because it sounds really nice, but I just don't want the alcohol. I got this little print. Little kitties. And another one, this one, which I just found in like a bookshop, but I thought that was cute. It's so me. I got this book, which is about Fulvia, who is the woman who broke all the rules in ancient Rome. So I think I'm going to read that one next, because I finished the Book of Fairies on the plane. So I was reading a book of fairies on the way back, and I started it before, and then on the way to Rome I read Table for One, so I finished that. So I think I'm going to read that one next. The next thing that I got was a lipstick from Kiko. Kiko's like, I think, one of my favourite like makeup brands. Let me show you the colour. So I haven't really been like a big makeup person until now. Maybe it's age, I don't know. But yeah, it's like nice. Kind of like a taupey kind of brown. Cause like, so our Airbnb host had like a brown, so it's just like a brown. Let me show you the little swatch. So that's like the swatch on me. I'm quite pale, and I just wanted like a brown that was like a nice kind of shade of brown. Just like a nice kind of, not warm but not cold, like in between brown shade for like every day. So I got that. There was actually another one. So the reason why, this is like a whole tangent, there was another one that I liked as well, but it's not there yet. So I took a picture of it, because it was like a kind of lighter pink. Usually I go for like rose pinks, but like I saw someone there who was trying all the lighter colours, and she was kind of pale, similar to me, but she had darker hair, so I'm not sure if it makes a difference. But she was trying all the lighter shades, and like they looked really nice, and she was like swatching them on her arm, so like it wasn't like in comparison to like her hair, so I think it would be like it would work all around me. But yeah, so I just kind of, I was like, oh, maybe I'll try some of the lighter ones. So I did. And they actually look really nice. So I think I might get that one. I'll look online and see if it's out already, if it was like, because I don't know if it was coming soon to the brand in whole, or just coming soon to that shop. So I didn't get that one. I also looked at some of the perfumes as well, but I didn't get them because there's like an outlet near me, so I can go get them there. So I might get that one as well. There was also some Gucci lipsticks which were quite nice, but they didn't have the prices on them, and I'm scared to ask because I always feel like if I ask then I have to buy them. But yeah, I didn't want to buy too many anyway, because if we're moving I'm going to go to Sephora, so yeah, and I don't need to buy this stuff now anyway. But yeah, so that's like the things that I got. Yay! Yeah, I liked Rome. We're now back in another heat wave, so we've left one heat wave and we've come back to another. The kitty is okay. Let me show you her. Here is the baby. She's not had any had any interest at the moment, which is quite sad. She's still up for adoption, but she was really good. It's been quite warm. We put her in, so we opened it up, so she had the cat room and the kitchen. The only reason she didn't have the full house is because we were worried, because she does get nervous when she meets people, is that I didn't want her to freak out and run out the door by accident. Like, she doesn't try to go outside, but I didn't want her to like panic. So we just kept her in there so it was easier, and she had like a cat sitter who came in, and then one of the ladies who like mentors me for the cat fostering. So she was in very good hands, and we had cameras on her, and we spoke to her through the cameras, and she was really chill. Like, when we spoke to her, she like gave us like little blinks to the camera, so like I think she knew that we were going to come back because we kept speaking, and when she had people go in, so she was just very excited for us to come back. She was very happy when we came through the door. Very chatty, and for the first time she's been like napping on the bed during the night, which is something she doesn't usually do. So she was happy when we were back. She wasn't mad at us, which is good. But maybe we'll get her like a little soupy treat today because it's very warm as well. But yeah, that was our Rome trip. It was eventful. I think it was way more stressful because of all the bag stuff. Whatever, we're back. We're back home. I have a few days off to recover. We got back at midnight and I woke up. We woke up at our normal times, like at 8, but then we went back to sleep until 10. That was... Oh. You want to say something? No. Oh yeah, we're back. I forgot. I also got this necklace. There was like a little market on the river, so I got this necklace as well. It's she said it was like stainless steel. The one where like you can shower in it, isn't like kind of different colour, which is good because my necklace tend to turn my neck green in the sun cream, so I got that.